Hello there. I am trying out this app called Explain Everything. It is super cool. I can definitely see my students using this, and I can see myself using this with my students or to explain something to parents. Especially, I just think of one assignment, algebraic equations or hands-on equations, and playing around with it. I was able to kind of see some of the functions like the marker, the pen, using some of these tools, the text. And so the added feature, I love this one because we can pull images that existed. So like for instance, I could pull, if I'm doing like algebraic equations, I can pull this hands-on equation balance beam to explain to students how to, or the concept of algebra, that it's equaled on both sides, and the balance plays a really important role in it. I love the text box that you can add in it too, so I can build an equation for them, such as 2, and that was another thing too that I liked. If you go, so I'll take this out and I'll hit the back arrow. See, this is like really cool. I'll hit the back arrow, go here, and new equation. I can build an equation for them. So that's really cool. I like, so I can do 2 plus 4x equals, let's say like 3 minus 4x. Okay, so there I've built their equation, and I can slide the equation up top there, so I still have access to the balance beam and I can shift it anywhere I want, and I also have built the equation and put it at the top. So then they can just use the marker feature and start to design their hands-on equation. So if I go here to add text, click on the screen, I can start to build the equation on the balance. So I just have that 2 there, and I can slide that 2 over. And that's the finger is the feature that if you double tap, you can move anything around. If I wanted to zoom in specifically, I know for this part, to draw the pawns, as the hands-on equations call that, they represent the variables. So I can draw the pawns there, and I zoomed in so that you can see them a little clearer. If I was zoomed out, you probably can't see it as clearly. They'd probably just look like black little figures. So I hit the check, and and then I hit the finger again, or the zoom out again, and I can zoom back into position. So initially the kids would draw 2 more pawns with their marker feature, and I'd hit OK, zoom out, and I've just built the one side of the equation, 2 plus 4x, and I can write in a text box what those pawns, so I can say, for instance, triangles represent, variables. Check that out, move that down. I keep forgetting not to move that. And it's as simple as that. If I wanted to keep going, I could add in the text, put and finish off this equation. And it's something to definitely play around with, but I can see the kids having a good time with it. And that's another thing, especially with hands-on equations, that there's a term called legal move, that with this moving feature, we could take the triangle or pawn away from the beam for that legal move statement. And that's a whole nother thing to get into. But that's the other thing that I liked as well. I'm going to go back to the added feature, and I'm going to go to the new equation. And I'm just going to take that addition sign and move it in between here, and then pick that up and move it there. And you have to double tap sometimes for everything to move. They've become one at this point. I'm going to go over here, add new equation to get that subtraction sign, and I don't have to do that, but I just found it more accessible for me. And then same thing as I did before, zooming in and drawing my pawns. Oh, and it was 4. And there you go. So I really do like this app for my students just to explain, and even the voice recording helps a lot, especially when it comes to something for math to use or any other concepts. So I really love the navigation of this tool and this site. So I'm definitely going to be using this in the future.